Plus,
5.
we have some additions.
Oh, okay.
But you're the professional listener.
Well, I don't know why there would be additions. I'm going to unveil a perfect list. I thought it was just going to be you guys were going to comment on the list.
Oh, Dusty, erase mine. It's going to be perfect.
Okay, well, I mean, that's fine. I don't know. You go to a, 3 Michelin star restaurant, and then they give you a nice little 7-course meal, and you say, let me add some things to the end of it. That's fine.
I don't think 3 is the highest star, to be honest with you.
Oh, actually, yeah. There's most Michelin stars of restaurant.
Josh, how many Michelin stars can you get?
There's not a restaurant in the world more than 3 Michelin stars. You only get one at a time. Look it up. I know these types of things. Now, 2. The quarterback's under the most pressure. Number 5 on the list, Josh Allen. Now, I am actually, I think, going to be the most, on this show regularly, the most bullish on Josh Allen because I think the loss of Stephon Diggs can be addition by subtraction. I think the fact that he's not going to feel pressured to force the ball to certain areas, that there is the tight ends that he has, the unproven receivers, none of whom are kind of allowed to have the great wide receiver ego, I think can be good for him. But I also think he is under massive pressure because a few years ago, by other folks in the media, he was prematurely anointed. And since then, he has probably seen his stature within his own conference fall a bit. It was he and Mahomes neck and neck. Then it's like, okay, Mahomes is clearly ahead of him. Then Burrow whooped him in a playoff game where he didn't play well. And then Lamar won another MVP, and all of a sudden C.J. Stroud's coming, and don't forget about the Prince. So because of that, Josh Allen, if they miss the playoffs, as a lot of people think they could, will not be looked at in the same light. So while I actually believe in Josh Allen more than most, I think this year, he is unquestionably under pressure. Number 4, Jalen Hurts. Now, so much of the scrutiny has been on the coach there. But if we remember the last time the Philadelphia Eagles had a coach-quarterback combo that early on in their partnership made a Super Bowl together, neither lasted in that city more than a couple years past that, the coach nor the quarterback. And for Jalen, he doesn't need to get them back to a Super Bowl this year. What he needs is to have an excellent season throwing the football because Jalen's entire football life from Alabama to Oklahoma to Philadelphia Eagles, there's only been 1 year from a passing perspective he looked like a franchise quarterback. They got to a Super Bowl. He almost won an MVP. He got paid off that year. But the more years that stack up where he looks like the player I think most people thought he was in the draft, the less stranglehold he has on the Eagles not doing to him what they did to Carson Wentz. Number 3, Wilds has got Tua Tagovailoa. So Tua now has gotten paid. He has the best weapons, arguably, of any team in his conference. They have 3 outstanding running backs. I mean, outstanding might be too high for the rookie. Is it Jalen Warren, the kid from Tennessee? But he's had an excellent camp. Obviously, A-Chain was great last year. Mostert's been great there. 2 great receivers, a coach everyone loves, and the question surrounding them is he the guy? Now, they paid him, so they think he's the guy. In the general media, Wilds and Acho, I think, are the only 2 people with big microphones that really believe in Tua, and it seems to be the real kind of conventional wisdom is he's just a guy, not the guy. But now he's been paid like that, and he is going to have to elevate because they are going to lose players around him years forward. Number 2 on this list is, of course, Brock Purdy. A lot of what I said about Tua applies to Purdy, except he has far more belief, and he is yet to be paid, unlike Tua. So he is, I don't want to say playing for a contract because he's already done enough to where he almost assuredly would get some type of contract. But he is playing to try to prove not only me wrong, but anyone out there that thinks he is just a repackaged, slightly improved Jimmy Garoppolo, meaning someone that drop into Shanahan's system, put all these weapons around him, and he's just the hand on the joystick as opposed to the main character. So Brock Purdy has spoken out this year that he wants to take his game to the next level. I think the early returns have been not promising, but we'll see. Looks like he's going to have to do it without Brandon Ayuk. He might have to do it for some of the time without Trent Williams. He's unquestionably under the second most pressure of any quarterback in the league this year. And then at number 1 is, of course, the savior for the New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers came to New York talking about Lombardi trophies. Last year, can't blame him. Tore his Achilles, nothing you can do. Can blame him for since then hijacking the end of their season by pretending you would be able to come back, hijacking the beginning of their offseason by flirting with running for vice president, hijacking the middle of their offseason by skipping minicamp, and now we are on the precipice of the season, and there is more belief in this Jets team than any team in the last decade at a minimum. They did upgrade the offensive line in 3 different spots. They did upgrade wide receiver 2. The defense, even without Wright, should still be excellent. Oddly, the 2 biggest question marks surrounding this team are its coach and its quarterback. And while the Jet fans, while to me a great season would be make the playoffs, win a playoff game for the first time in a decade, Jet fans are thinking AFC title game at a minimum. That rests on the right arm of Aaron Rodgers, so he is the quarterback under the most pressure. First up, I'm not sure, so it's Greg Jennings. Greg, go ahead.
I like the list. I would have Josh Allen under pressure for a little bit of a different reason, but I'm just going to add to the list. I'm not going to knock the list because I think it's actually a really good list, especially given your explanations of each individual. But I have a guy that I have yet to give up on.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
And he plays in this city.
Let's go.
And he's in a different uniform than the first guy on your list.
Love it.
And that guy is Danny Dimes.
We're back.
Look, Danny Dimes is still my guy. For now.
Okay, that's fair.
For now. And I say for now because Danny Dimes, you got to show me something. You got to show the Giants something. Simply because a couple of reasons. They paid you. And you want to earn that contract. You want to earn that money, but you also got to understand what's going on right now. Got a draft pick in the building, and he's happened to be the number 6 overall pick. And he happened to be a wide receiver, which tells me they still are putting pieces around you to see, are you the guy? Can you actually be the guy that they hoped you would be last year, with the exception of obviously the offensive line that they now have kind of retooled. So Danny Dimes, there's a couple things going in your favor. Got a better offensive line potentially. You got another weapon that everyone believes is going to be very nice. This is going to be on you. And they got a contingency plan. Not talking about the out that they have after this year, basically, that will allow them to just play a couple million in dead cap money, a little bit more than that. But you know, you're the
20 million, but they can move on.
Over 20 million. But Drew Lock, who when he filled in for Geno Smith, he looked pretty good, Danny. He's coming in there as a guy that feels like I can play right now. Danny, if there's one thing that you haven't shown the people at large is just that swag, that edge. I know you got it. And you put something on display. And I like what I saw. And if you think Danny Dimes isn't going to fight for his spot this season and prove that he is the guy, take a look at this.
Thank you.
This is
That's what I'm talking about.
How many quarterbacks? He knows.
None of the smart
This is it. I'm fighting for every. You're not going to put me off my spot. You're not going to just walk in here and just get me to say, here you go, to somebody else. No, I'm fighting for what's mine. I'm going to earn this money, and I am going to be the reason the Giants actually make a little bit of noise.
Okay.
A little bit of noise. What's that mean?
Quiet. Kind of like Keon Coleman. Is your
for like 7 wins? What's a little bit of noise?
They're just going to be quiet. Not really. They're going to be quiet.
They could beat the Cowboys.
Ooh, that's a definite. What's
going on?
Greg, I loved your pick, and I loved your loyalty. I didn't love the fight at the end. That's where you lost me, but I loved all the other part. And I think, Nick, you did such a good job yesterday of setting such low expectations that this list is so much better. But it's a smart approach. Like set the bar low.
Wait till Friday.
Come in a little bit stronger with this list. Next week is going to be probably fire.
Thank you.
But I'm gonna add some of the list. I think you missed out on Jordan Love. And here's my thought process on Jordan Love. So you get $220 million. You get the highest signing bonus in NFL history at $75 million. And with that comes expectations. And his expectations are different because even though last year was his first time starting, this isn't a guy that's new to the NFL. This is his 5th year. And as we watched his season develop last year, they were 6-8 at one point. Then they go on the run. He's got the 16 touchdowns versus 1 pick. They have the big win in the playoffs. That all those things have now recalibrated expectations for him, and whether or not he can meet those expectations that he set from performance as well as the contract, that puts a ton of pressure on him. Add Caleb Williams to the division, add what Detroit has been able to do. That whole division is radically different than it has been. So it's going to be interesting to me to see whether or not he can meet that. And the other thing about him is when he's good, he's really good. But when he's bad, he had 6 games last year where his quarterback rating was 70 or below. And so he can't have those ups and downs. His downs have to be lower than or higher than they were last year.
So I think that's a fair point. If I were doing the biggest X factors in the league this year, which could be a list, but he would be.
I mean, you put 2 on because he got a new contract, and
yeah. But so here's the difference
guy
there. I think because I don't think there's a lot of Jordan Love skeptics out there. So I don't think there could be after this year. But I think in general, people feel like, man, took him 7 games to get his feet wet in the NFL, and then took off flying.
They were 6 and 8.
No, I understand. I get that, but
14.
his numbers, the final 10 games of the year, were when he had the 18 touchdowns to the 1 pick, and then one great playoff game, 1 tough playoff game. I'm just saying, I think he is
really good.
No, I actually agree with you, Coach, on the boom or bust potential, and I also think he is. We've never seen a player get this type of contract with this limited of playing sample. We've never seen it. So it's a unique situation. So I don't dislike your addition. It's to me, he's one of the most interesting players in the league this year.
Okay, final addition. Can we hit the music, please?
I love this music.
I feel confident in the Prince because I do. Because you know what I believe? Iron sharpens iron.
God dog it.
And I don't know if you saw the preseason game. Look at this. Look at this pass. Not that one. There's one. There's one. He throws a pillowy ball, Greg. Oh, that's Mac Jones out there. Oh, a pillowy. A little bit of a hospital ball,
Beautiful.
but still. This next one, triple coverage. That's wow, Greg. That was a good one. Iron sharpens iron. So I do believe in the Prince with Mac Jones encouraging him as he's a great teammate. Is he a dirty player? Yes, but only against the other team. So I believe in the Prince. But you know what Hubs always says? Gen Z. The guy's mid. And I'm always like, what does that mean? He's like, dude, he's mid.
You show this same graphic you show every time, bro.
Wow.
It's mid. I don't even know what it means. Hubs told me it's mid. So the guy's mid.
It means what it is. It's mid.
Mid.
It's just mid.
I don't know what it means. It's Gen Z. So it's mid. And here's the thing I'm actually worried about. The start of the Jag season.
Yeah.
At Miami.
That's no problem.
Tua's good when it's hot.
That is
home against Cleveland, in Buffalo, at the Texans. Then I think you get some wins there. Then you're going home in quotation marks against the Bears and the Patriots. But that early schedule, Miami, Cleveland, those are 4 playoff teams right away.
Can I go old Mike and the Mad Dog style?
Of course. I don't.
All right, where you go win, loss, win, loss.
Oh, sure, go.
All right, starting with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Win,
No.
win.
You're beating Cleveland.
Win.
Loss, win.
Surprising win at home against the Packers. Win, loss. That's a nice. That's 7-4 start.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
7-4 start, and you haven't even gotten to play the Titans yet, and you get the Raiders late. Oh boy.
I'm telling you.
Oh boy. That's got 11-6 written all over.
4 playoff teams early, 3 of them on the road.
Okay, the Browns are not good. I know you don't believe in the Browns.
The Browns were good with Joe Flacco.
Well, if they had Joe Flacco, maybe they'd be good again. Unfortunately, they have Deshaun Watson.
Call Joe Flacco.
Well,
didn't he resign?
Not with Cleveland. I don't know where he is.
Hey, where's Flacco, Josh?
He's with the Colts?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
They Justin Fields and Russell Wilson.
Josh, what's the story on the Michelin stars? We get that one?
I'm right. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.